Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. Two knives from Artisan Cutlery. Wasn't expecting these, but it'll be interesting to take a look at some new products. As always, I will link these in the description. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks to Artisan Cutlery for sending this in. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex and on TikTok at _metal_complex. Two different models. The first one, we're just going to go with this one here. Prime sand polished S90V sandblasted titanium and OD green at micarta handle. Okay, always like to see S90V as an option, or as the primary steel, because most of the time, I think I cut the box a little bit there, whoops, most of the time I did, these Artisan Cutlery S90V knives are 200 or less. So this first one here, okay, very straightforward. Looks like micarta front scale and titanium rear scale with some nice texturing there, honestly. Milled clip, right hand tip up only. But yeah, decent looking. We see a lot of variation in the sand polished. This one is actually pretty shiny. That's actually looking pretty good for the sand polish. I've handled so many of these different Artisan Cutlery knives. It doesn't really matter if it's S90V or AR RPM 9. The variation is across the board. So we see ultra shiny AR RPM 9 and ultra shiny S90V, and then we see the polar opposite where it's almost indistinguishable from like a machine satin finish. But when they can get it really, really reflective like this and very, very even, it looks pretty good. Couple of areas on the other side of this blade that are not quite as even, right? You can kind of see what I'm talking about there, but pretty good overall. I do like the sheep's foot blade. We have like I said, the titanium lock there. Little notch right there. I think that reminds me of Nick Chuprin. I can't remember what the model is there, but we're just doing an unboxing and first impressions here. So if you're new to my channel, the review for these knives will come down the road. Obviously, after I've had a chance to kind of experience them. We'll do measurements here in a second, but that one's looking all right. I feel like it's probably about the size of a Spyderco Pair 3. Yeah, pretty similar. And then the other one here, this is Banjara. There's no way that I pronounced that correctly. That's fine. Let's open this guy up and see what we've got here. What did they say for materials on that one? Sandblasted titanium. Okay, so this one's in full tie. It feels slightly heavier, so maybe it's a little bit bigger. Maybe it's a lot big. It's a lot bigger. Full titanium and textured. We have a flipper on this guy and opening hole. Have to try that out. Okay. Kind of a tall Persian style blade. Definitely, pretty comfortable. Nice jimping there. About what you'd expect. I mean, the flipper it's okay. The detent, I feel like, is more tuned for this than it is for the flipper tab. It honestly feels a little bit on the light side. Just not able to fail it though, so that's nice. So how'd they do on the sand polishing on this guy? Let's see. Want to get it nice and cleaned off here so we can really judge it. It's pretty good. I have that one that I always use as a standard because I feel like it was the most consistent. Actually, this is probably more similar side to side. This one looks great on the front and then slightly uneven on the back, but honestly a little bit better. I'm just waiting for the day that I can get a bunch of these in a row and say, hey, Artisan Cutlery is really nailing down that sand polish, which I really like because it's kind of a unique finish. Not any other, most other companies are offering belt satin, machine satin, or tumbled, and that's pretty much it, right? So this is definitely different, definitely more reflective than your standard belt satin or machine satin finish. I like it a lot. I just wish that we saw it, more consistent across the board. This guy also probably a knife that's 199 or less. Overall length of, what was this one called again? Banjara. Banjara. There's no way that I'm saying that correctly. Overall length of this guy coming in at 8 1/8. Blade length about 3.6. Yeah. No, I'm wrong. I lied to you. 3.5. Cutting edge just shy of, no, that's also, yeah. Cutting edge and total blade length is going to be 3.5. On this guy here, we are looking at, that's about 7 inches. Blade length is 3 inches on the dot. Cutting edge is also 3 inches on the dot. Let's do some size comparisons here real quick, and then we'll do some measurements. So up against a pair of 3, and let's do the Shaman. There we go. Let's do the Spyderco PM2. Let's do the Hogue Deca. I think that's also a good one. Let's do some other budget knives you guys might be familiar with. The S90V Vision FG, always a good one. How about the Vosteed Raccoon? These are all recommendable, by the way. The Sencut Crowley. Let's do the Miguron Moyarl. Right there. Okay. And then I think we should probably weigh these here real quick. I honestly, between the two, I want to see this guy in full titanium, which it wouldn't surprise me if they actually did do it. Truthfully, my favorite between the two is this one. I really like that profile. Wish they had some jimping leading up to this notch. I mean, the notch is cool, but I want some jimping leading up to it. Yeah, a full titanium version, or even like a version of this where it's titanium with a nested liner would also be really cool. But anyways, the weight on this guy, first one here, which again is the Prime, is coming in at 3.4 ounces. And then the bigger guy here, Banjaro, coming in at, unsurprisingly, 4.5 ounces. Yeah, I think it's very subjective, like which one you like, go with whatever you want. But personally, I do like the size of this. I also like that it's pretty thin. It looks like the micarta scale is actually thicker than the titanium scale. Is that actually the case? Unless my eyes are playing tricks on me, yeah, it does look like that's the case. I really want this to be in full tie, especially the way that they have done the texturing here. I really like it, but I want it on the other side. There's nothing wrong with having a micarta scale. Oh, that is backed up with a steel liner, though. That's kind of cool. There's nothing wrong with that. That reduces weight. But I know for sure that if they did a full tie version of this, they would charge the same amount. And the reason that bothers me is because, hey, if you've got one with a micarta, like front scale, why aren't you charging substantially less? 2 titanium scales, that's quite a bit more machining and the cost of the material itself. So I can understand, exactly this titanium S90V sand polish, $199 price tag or $180, somewhere right in there. Yeah, that's great. With the micarta scale, though, in my opinion, it should be substantially less. Micarta, not a fancy material, not super costly to machine or shape properly, right? Nested steel liner, also not an expensive thing to do. So I would prefer that if we had 2 different versions, we had 2 appropriate price tags, with the titanium one being the higher, micarta being lower, but that's just my observation. You will get full comprehensive reviews of each of these knives down the road a bit. But for today, that's going to be it. I'll link these knives down in the description if you want to check them out. Thanks again to Artisan Cutlery for sending them in. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.